Greetings, Groaners! Welcome along to another episode of the Groan Zone. You join us for episode 73, and I greet you once again. We have big plans over the coming months that I'm dying to tell you about. Don't worry, we are still staying on Podbean, let me make that clear, and other platforms that we've also joined, but we are going to finally reach our groany fist out into the YouTube universe and pull it back towards us in a non-face reveal podcast that will be recorded the same time as this one, because it's the same one, which makes no sense, but you know what I mean. It'll be audio only. There will be no face reveal at all. None. Nada. There are things to work out, but the future looks bright for the Groan Zone. There will of course be big plans coming up as well too, but it'll all come good in time. We'll keep you posted on what is happening on Facebook, on Discord, and everything else as we make developments and everything else. Stay tuned because we're going to go through some changes, graphic changes on the Groan Zone. Exciting times ahead, Groaners. Exciting times ahead. Don't worry, we're here to stay and we're not going to groan ourselves out. But after our dual special last week, we return back to the show you know and love as always. Your games this week are Yes or BS, Give Me the Question, and What the Hell Am I? If this is your first time listening to the Groan Zone, please stop now. Both myself and Admin Nicole implore you to go all the way back to episode 1 first and go from there. That way, some things may make sense and games won't be out of sync, because you may get answers for games that you wanted to play and you've wrecked them for yourself. Now I've got that out of the way, let's kick the show off proper with my groans. People who claim they cannot work for dumb reasons. There have been great examples of this in the past, such as the dumb girl who claimed she was too pretty to work. Cracking! We'll stop your benefits then, and you'll get nothing. If you are too lazy to work, then sorry, you shouldn't sponge off of the state and instead get up off your lazy backside. Fake heatwaves. When they tell us in the media that we've got a heatwave coming, and then the next we know, it is a 2-week washout. Kinda what we're experiencing in northeast of England now. I can't remember when we got sun. I can't remember. Utterly stupid. Fine tune your systems, please. Don't give us false hope. Keeping doors open for people. So I do believe in good manners and hold doors open for people. But why, on the other side of the spectrum, do people allow a door to close in your face when you're right behind them? This has happened to me countless times. Even being scowled at for holding a door open. What the holy crap is wrong with people? But bye bye groans. The groan bag is now sealed up until next week, where I will groan once more. We now jump to our first game, that being Give Me the Question. Are those groaners listening live? Are you ready to play? Let me hear you say yes, please. Are you ready? Yes, I do believe they are. And also, if you're listening to this now, clearly that means you're ready, because of course you're listening. Here we go. Round 1. Your answer is Harold. That's H-A-R-A-L-D. Your questions are: option A. What is the name of one of the Dutch politicians who govern under the current ruling party? Option B. What is the name of the current King of Norway? And option C. What is the name of the son of the former Queen of Slovakia? Go Groaners! Give me your answers when you're playing along live. If you're not, you pause now. You have a think, pause, pop your answer in. And, ooh, we've got a split. The room is divided on Discord. between B's and C's. Okie dokes. I hear you loud and clear, Groaners. Moving on, we're going to round number 2. Your answer is 2023. Your questions are: option A, what year was Britney Spears supposed to stage a pop comeback? Option B, what year was classed as the last year before a global disaster? And option C, what year was globally classed as the warmest year? Fire them off, Groaners. I'm ready when you are. If you're not playing along live, you pause now. Think about your answer, unpause. Oh, we've got a dedicated crowd of C's. The entire room has gone for C's. Okay then. Quick games this week, you're on fire, Groaners. Final round, round number 3. Your answer is Josef Totling. I'm going to spell that in case I butchered it. That's Josef Todtling. Your questions are: option A, who was a Swiss inventor who immigrated to America to make his fortune? Option B, which man currently holds the world record for being pulled by a horse the furthest? And option C, who was a famous Austrian yodeling one-hit wonder who sadly died broke in 1991? What you got, Groaners? Okay, didn't give me a chance to even say anything. They've all gone for C there. Okay, if you're playing along after the recording, pause, have a think. Are you going to go with the Groaners playing along live? Or have you got something different? Did any lucky grown out they get points? I don't know. But the answers will reveal all later. But that'll be a secret to the end of the show. It's that time now where we draw the curtains on game time and amp up the creepy with Admin Nicole's Creepy Corner. This week's story is called The Things We Must Never Forget. Marianne had just got home from work. She was lucky to be able to buy a shop with a flat above it. It made working so much easier for her, and as the town's only tattoo artist, she only had to work when she had appointments. As she walked into her kitchen, she noticed the light was on and the old man was sitting at her dining table, enjoying a cup of her tea in her finest china. You know, it might be good to remember that if someone breaks into your house, you shouldn't make it so hard to find the good cups. This tea tastes pretty cheap too, the old man said. Marianne smiled and sat next to him. She always knew the old man would never help her, but as hard as he tried to stay in the shadows, she always noticed him keeping watch over her. She also noticed the rocking horse by his feet. The creative side of her wanted nothing more than to add her own designs to it. This must be pretty important if you're coming to me of all people. Did the mayor finally lose it? Marianne asked. The old man put down his tea and struggled to look Marianne in the eyes. He knew it was wrong. He shouldn't be here. How could she be the one person that could help when she had been through far too much? He walked over to the cabinet where Marianne kept her finest china and looked down at that one photo of her as a child. She sighed too. Marianne was born during the Great War in a newly built bubble town. One of those towns with domes over it reflecting a fake sky and fake weather. All to keep everyone safe, of course, to never know the horrors of what was happening in the outside world. When Marianne was a child, she was a prodigy horse rider. She would have made it so far if she was allowed, but her bullies were on a level no one could have seen coming. After winning her latest event at just 9 years old, Marianne and her parents celebrated. After everyone went to sleep that night, Marianne was woken by a rock hitting her window, and she sneaked outside without waking anybody up. She saw her horse looking distraught and ran towards him. His leg was badly injured, and he couldn't stand. Marianne turned around to be hit with a rock on her head, and as wood began to spin, she saw her bullies. She barely understood them before she passed out. It was clear that she was to never speak of this event. She couldn't prove it, but she knew it was them. However, she was woken in the morning by her angry parents finding the rock that hurt her horse in her hand. They refused to believe her. This was only the start. Her beloved horse had to be sent away since his injuries were too bad. Unfortunately, he never recovered. Something in her broke after that. That night stayed fresh in her mind, and she never went near another horse ever again, until many years later when she was all grown up. She took up teaching horse riding once she was older, since her parents wanted to retire. She was still traumatized but wanted to do anything to get her parents to love her again. She started teaching a small group of kids. and for a few months everything was going well. One of them even won an event on their first try, but that brief happiness, she felt, didn't last. The girl was disqualified and lost her awards for cheating. Marianne had no idea until it was revealed that the other girls caused distractions to other riders or spooked the horses during the event. They were young, so they were small and easily went unnoticed. The girls Marianne trained so hard for were working together to cheat so at least one of them would win. When their parents turned up, it was the first time Marianne had actually seen them since her parents dealt with that side of things, and she only taught, but her heart dropped. A familiar pain she hadn't felt in years was back. The kids she trained were her bullies' children. They were no different from their parents on that fateful night, but Marianne stood her ground and refused to train the girls anymore. It wasn't because of who their parents were. She couldn't teach those who weren't willing to put in the work or would even think of scaring a horse for the sake of a medal. Marianne's bullies didn't like that, and just a few nights later, Marianne was woken up with a familiar rock on the window. More injured horses unable to stand. The horses the girls used to train with. She knew it had to be them. When she turned around, she saw the girls she once trained, except they were the bullies that originally tormented her. The horses survived this time, but Marianne knew she couldn't say a word, even now that she was all grown up. Her parents despised her more than ever, and once the horses were safe, Marianne left in the night. She vowed to never set foot near another horse again, and after some time of walking, with nothing but a few valuables with her, she ended up in the old man's town, collapsing immediately. He had been watching over her ever since, and she took up drawing instead, and eventually bought the tattoo parlour. "Why did you even take this picture with you?" the old man asked. Marianne walked over to him with tears in her eyes, and wrapped her arms around him as she took the photo of her as a girl. The last picture she took with her beloved horse. She cries whenever she looks at it. "I owe it to him and those other horses to never forget all that happened and all I lost," she said. So Groaners, that is another story over and out for another week. But I must say, it takes a lot to write out a show, but Admin Nicole bangs these stories out on a weekly basis, and that's just amazing to me, the level of creativity this woman has. But as Admin Nicole takes a bow, we must move the show onwards and along with Why Oh Why? Why oh why do two people find it erotic to dress as animals, that's furries, and simulate getting it on? I can't go into much detail here, but the very thought of it makes me dry heave. I just have to ask, why oh why? We've asked the why oh whys now. We have to reveal our selection for Oh Unlucky. This week's Oh Unlucky falls to a group of grandkids who were cut out of their granddad's will, meaning they got none of his fortune. His kids went to see him, but the grandkids never really bothered, hence he cut them out. Unlucky! But seriously, if you have a grandparent, see them as often as possible before they are gone. And I don't mean see them because you want money, I mean see them out of love. But how unlucky were they? But no mind. The question is, Groaners, how lucky do you feel? Yeah, you know what's coming. It's time for Yes or BS. Round 1. The casting couch round. Option A. Michael J. Fox was the first choice to play Marty McFly in Back to the Future. Option B. Hulk Hogan was originally supposed to play the gang member who tries to knock out the torturous drill instructor in Major Payne. And option C. Robert Downey Jr.'s comeback after a battle with drug addiction was playing the singer in a music video. Go Groaners! Those along live, give me your answers please. Those not playing live, press pause, answer unpause. Ooh, we've got a lot of A's coming in there. A crowd of A's coming. Okay. Any more? Oh, a couple of B's and a couple of C's. Alright there. We ready to move on, Groaners? Yes, we are. Round 2. The Music Matters round. Option A. Mariah Carey is worth an estimated $350 million. Option B. Michael Jackson originally wrote the song Billie Jean for his friend Paul McCartney. McCartney felt Michael Jackson would sing it better, so he declined to sing it. And option C, Maroon 5 were originally supposed to be called Cara's Flowers. Groaners, answers please. If you're not playing live, pause, answer, unpause. Ooh, we have another spread across the board. A, B's and C's, Groaners. What's going on this week? Okay, moving on. Round number 3, the money round. Option A, the current record for the largest lawsuit settlement was $206 billion. Option B, the wrestler Ted DiBiase originally picked the name Mr. Moneybags, but WWF Creative, now WWE, felt the $1 Million Man would be a better name for him. Option C, in America, the largest gross of government money funds is spent on food. Fire them off, Groaners. Give me your answers, please. You're not playing live, pause, answer, unpause. We have a massive split between B's and C's this week for the final round. Okay, remember, Groaners, if I reveal in the answer section at any point that you've selected a BS answer, your entire points for the game are wiped clean. Please don't think the game is picking the BS like a few people I know did for a while and they got no points. The answers will be revealed in due time very soon. Eep! I almost forgot. How could I, Groaners? I got to groan, but one of you almost didn't get a chance. Let's rectify that now, shall we, with the audience groan. This week's lucky groaner is Derek H. of Stanley, and he groans in via email. And he says, people who try to fiddle their gas meters, just be honest, why risk killing yourself and others? Well, Derek, that is an explosive groan, no pun intended. Good point. Honesty is the best policy because the gas company will find out if you fiddle your meter, and then you'll probably go to prison or worse. Now, Derek groaned in via email, but if you want to contribute your groans, your why or whys, your oh unluckies, or your hero or zero of the week nominations, or your feedback, you can do so via one of the many ways we have now. You can drop us an email into the groanzonepod@gmail.com. You can join in the fun at the Groan Zone Podcast on the Facebook groups. You can either hit me or myself. That makes no sense, Groaners. I'll say that again. You can either hit myself or Admin Nicole via Facebook Messenger on Mystery Groaner or Nicole Amos. You can join in the fun on Discord under the Groan Zone. And lastly, under any episode, you can drop in your comments in the comment section. Uh-oh, Groaners, I detect a zero incoming. Oh, here it is. Zero of the week time. What possesses some idiots out there to do what they do? Ah, yes. It is because they are completely shining examples of total idiocy. Our zero this week is a prime example of this. He was caught finally after a 20-year reign of panty pilfering that lasted for 20 years. Dude, what in the holiest of holies were you thinking? For being a complete pervert, you're also a total zero. I'd say well done for achieving zero status, but you, sir, are a pillock. We are almost at the end of our little foray into the zone of groans, Groaners, but we need to do one more game and then I can reveal this week's answers to you. What the hell am I? Your pictorial brainbuster, Groaners, will be in the show notes for this episode. The game name will slightly change depending on what the picture is as well, as you may have noticed. Now your clue is, I was prehistoric when I was created and I was found in Turkey. What the hell am I? I've also noticed the image doesn't show up for Spotify users, sadly, but you can look up the episode on Podbean if you want to see it. The image will also be on Facebook and Discord, as well as the episode notes on Podbean. And stepping up now, we expose the game answers for this week. Anagram anxiety. For those of you who played last week's anagram, the answer was carnations. The answer was, of course, given over the course of the show last week, and even I didn't pick up on it. I should have realised carnations, because I said it during the course of the show, didn't I? But no, I can't do anagrams for love nor money. Yes or BS. Round 1, the casting couch round. If you went for option A, Michael J. Fox was the first choice to play Martin McFly in Back to the Future, that's false. They'd already cast Eric Stoltz. You can see him in one flash scene where Marty punches Biff in the diner. What they had filmed, they shot again, apart from that one glimpse you see him, it's there for about a second. Option B, if you went for this one, Hulk Hogan was originally supposed to play the gang member just to knock out the torturous drill instructor in Major Payne. Entirely false. The part was already given to the late wrestler Bam Bam Bigelow. If you went for option C, yes, this is true, Groaners. Robert Downey Jr.'s comeback after a battle with drug addiction was playing the singer in a music video, and that music video was I Want Love by Elton John. Round 2, the Music Matters round. If you went for option A, Mariah Carey is worth an estimated $350 million. True, she also holds the record for most Billboard #1s by a solo artist. If you went for option B, Michael Jackson originally wrote the song Billie Jean for his friend Paul McCartney, and McCartney felt Michael Jackson was singing better, so declined. That's totally false. I made it up. And if you went for Maroon 5's alternate name of Cara's Flowers, that's true. They held the name for 6 years, and it was taken from a classmate the band had. Last round, round 3, the money round. If you went for option A, the current record for the largest lawsuit settlement was $206 billion. That's true, and this was forked over for the Tobacco Master Settlement Agreement in 1998. $206 billion? What? If you went for option B, the wrestler Ted DiBiase originally picked the name Mr. Moneybags, but WWF Creative, now WWE, thought the $1 Million Man would be a better name. That is completely false. I made that up. If you went for option C, in America, the largest gross of government money funds is spent on food, you'd be wrong for thinking this. The government actually spends 15.9% of their budget on transportation. Groceries comes in second at 8.6% as of February this year alone. Now here we go, give me the question, Groaners. Round 1, your answer was Harold. Your correct question was B. What is the name of the current King of Norway? His name is Harald V. Round 2, your answer was 2023. Your correct question was C. What year was globally classed as the warmest year? Last round, your answer, I'm going to butcher it again, Joseph Tuttling. Your correct question was option B. Which man currently holds the world record for being pulled by a horse the furthest? I don't know why he'd want that record, but I'm just going to say well done that man, because it's clearly better than a 0 of the week this week. That's the answers given to all of you dear Groans out there. Hopefully those playing along live and those who playing along after the recording scored some points. We wrap the show up now for yet another week, but keep your groans coming, and you never know, you may just get yours read out on the show. Take care, Groaners. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.